Yo, good morning, StockTwits crew. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody is having a good morning so far. I need to throw the background back on. I forgot to throw that back on. We'll get that back on. But Shy, how we feeling this morning? Market's kind of quiet. We're kind of right in the same spot as we closed yesterday. So interested on your thoughts, how we feeling this morning. And yeah, I mean, market's kind of quiet, but we got some things later. We got FOMC minutes, so maybe we get some movement there. But how we feeling about the morning?
I think it's just gonna be. I mentioned this yesterday. Like I think it's just gonna be quiet for the week. It's gonna be a quiet week. It's gonna be a vol drain type of week. I don't think much will happen. I think we're essentially on. I don't know. There might be some wonky moves downward, but like the volume has not been there at all. I think it's just like a bit range bound. QQQ is up 5%, SPY's up 5%, and we might just be waiting until Nvidia's report on next Wednesday. It's in a week from today, so
Yeah.
that might just be the catalyst everyone waits on because they're the kingpin of the new digital economy, and that is not going to go away anytime soon. And we are a little ride or die on that earnings report because their hand is in so many different buckets of the new digital economy, and AI begins with Nvidia. So if they indicate any slowdown, the tech trade might be a little over. Breadth might widen. Either way, nobody wants to front move that kind of major catalyst. So I think that might be why there's no like near term catalyst to or headwinds to move the market much except for next Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. We have plenty of earnings this week, but just not anything that's super heavily weighted in, the S&P. So I'm with you. Market seems like it's kind of waiting for that, and I assume we just kind of get this price action that we've seen back and forth. Although, I mean, price action has been pretty decent to the upside this past few days. So shout out to that. But then you're seeing this morning we're right back in, and it's just been this back and forth price action. I really have not trusted any big directional move. I think I've been good at not trusting that because I mean lately it's been very back and forth. So let's get on with the daily rip and recap with that. Shy, I'm gonna be right back. I'll get the background thrown on. I gotta go and then come back. So I'll be right
Yeah,
back.
no worries. So yeah, talk about a whole lot of nothing yesterday. You see a lot of the big tech names are essentially flat. Meta finally broke that 20-day streak they had, green streak they've had, and they did it with a -3% day. So that was interesting. I don't really think it was much catalyst that drove that. It was just purely profit taking, probably after, it's 20 business days. So, like, it's essentially 1 month straight of just going green every single day. That's absolutely nuts. And Meta is one of those names where I think they were getting disrespected for years. Always the most undervalued Max 7 name out there. Zuck turned the, turned the ship around. It wasn't just on organizational changes, like it was a PR move as well, where people started trusting him more and more. The way he was presenting himself, way he was like communicating his future vision on what Meta was going to be. I think that helped substantially because that's like the whole issue with Google right now. To be honest, like they have an incredible product. It's just you need a showman to be a CEO of a Max Seven name.
Bro, Zuck got cool.
Yeah,
Like,
he got cool, and you need to be a showman to be a Max Seven name in order to sell your narrative. That's all. Narrative follows price action. Like it truly is what moves a stock. Zuck started mastering that narrative 2 years ago, and now people are believing it and pricing them accordingly. I don't know if Google's CEO has that in him, has that dog in him. Like I just don't think he does because he's not founder led. So that is why Meta went from like most undervalued Max 7 name to it's fair value now. So now it's up to them to deliver. But that's kind of why you're seeing a massive momentum in that stock. But yeah, other than that, dead day, except for like I think Palantir like went up 5% again. Like this
of
is a
course it
name
did.
that's defying expectations at like people keep saying it's I think it hit 100 times price of sales yesterday on that valuation. Which again I think is a dumb metric to use for a company growing their top line 30% with 40% free cash flow margin. Who could give an F about price of sales when they have a Rule 40 score of 70 plus for this upcoming year, and they just produced a Rule 40 score of 81. You don't use price to sales for that.
Yeah, I'm with you. Big Christmas tree here. Let's get moving on and get ready for the morning. Intel turnaround stories take hold. Intel has caught fire over the last 2 weeks, rising over 40% as investors rethink its position in a semiconductor space that's more critical than ever. With the Trump administration focused on revitalizing U.S. manufacturing, other industry players are taking notice. Over the weekend, news dropped that Broadcom and Taiwan Semiconductor are looking to buy certain pieces of Intel to diversify, and strengthen their businesses. And as we know, attention from one suitor often attracts several others, causing the stock to pop 16% today, with retail looking for further gains. So, love to see that for those names. Meanwhile, another beaten down brand name also caught a bid today. Nike climbed 6% after announcing a partnership with Kim Kardashian Skims. The new brand Nike Skims will offer training apparel, footwear, and accessories geared toward women. I thought that was just like a given when I saw that. I mean, you see Kim K, going in with Nike there. I assume Nike would get a nice pop there, and you're seeing it 6% after announcing that. With valuations rising and many stocks already experiencing major runs, investors continue to look for opportunities in names that have not participated in the bull run and could be poised for a rebound. Think of Disney, 3M, Starbucks, etc., which have experienced turnaround runs over the last 12 to 18 months. Shay, you got any takeaways from here?
IP is everything in the future, guys. It is one of those things that it's going to be the new commodity, and Nike has incredible IP, so they're going to be able to leverage that in so many different partnerships. You saw that Kim K, like maybe they're obviously, if you guys aren't like noticing what their new strategy is, it's very towards getting the female demographic into their stores. The first Super Bowl trailer, commercial in 27 years was primarily female athletes. And now you're seeing this partnership with Skims. Like, read between the lines, guys. Like, the new management at Nike, they're targeting this demo. They're going all in on this side. So keep that in mind. I like to see it. Intel, tragic story of what poor corporate governance can do to a stock. People are chasing at 28. Nobody wanted it under $20 a couple weeks ago. It's purely catching a bid on a buyout candidate. So if that doesn't happen,
yeah, right back down. Absolutely. Something to think about. What else we got? President's Day weekend madness. If you're into crypto, you know the regular craziness that occurs, especially on days when traditional markets are closed. The weekend's fiasco was centered around Argentina's president and a meme coin he dubbed a private initiative designed to aid the economy. Our light paper writer, John Morgan, breaks down what happened. A Solana-based meme coin, Libra, stole the spotlight during the holiday weekend, shooting to a $4.5 billion market cap before cratering 90% within hours. That's ridiculous. Gosh. Argentine President Javier Milei hyped the Solana-based meme coin as a private initiative to aid the economy, only to face lawsuits and impeachment talks. Some quick highlights. Libra's sudden rise initially soared on Milei's endorsement. Total collapse was lost 90% of its value just as fast. $87.4 million in mystery profits. A lucky few appear to have snagged the bag, so some people got rich off of it overnight. Libragate lawsuits. Investigators are calling it a potential rug pull. Wouldn't be surprised. And the blame game has shifted from Milei to Hayden Davis, aka Kelsier Ventures, the name at the center of multiple insider trader allegations. So, whole lot of craziness in the crypto world over the weekend. Shay, you got any thoughts on all that happened?
we are entering the end of an cycle, guys.
Yeah.
So you're seeing this with everything that Portnoy is doing as well. Things get euphoric a bit towards the end of a cycle, and I think you're seeing a lot of wonky meme coin type of moves accelerating. I think this is the last year of the crypto bull market before the bear market begins next year. But I don't know, you make a ton of money during the last year of any bull market. I forgot what the statistic is out there, but you can make like, I don't know, 30 or 40% of like the last year of a total bull market rally happens in the last year of it. That's when the euphoric stage hits. So like, even though I'm saying it's the last year most likely, I wouldn't stay out of it. Like, I think you're gonna make a ton of money. Just know that we're closer to the top than the bottom of this rally we're experiencing. So play accordingly.
Yeah, 100%. What else we got? Hayden Davis, aka Kelsier Ventures. He pops up in every meme coin fiasco like the friend who always promises to pay but somehow never does. Victim or perp, he calls himself a scapegoat, but interviews suggest otherwise. Insider trading accusations, preloading tokens, rigging launches, and front-running unsuspecting retail. The liquidity power plays were controlling liquidity pools to manipulate prices. $100 million limbo, he reportedly has it, but no one's sure where it'll end up. Despite claiming to be on the side of justice, Davis keeps surfacing in the biggest Solana-based insider scandals. Meme coin job exceeding $200 million plus. Solana Floor's deep dive points to a bigger scam involving Davis and other industry bigwigs. DeFi Tuna co-founders revelations Vlad unknowingly provided liquidity for shady deals. Melania token rug pull that allegedly netted $200 to $300 million for Davis and crew. And then the Enron token launch, witnesses saw multiple insiders front running in real time. So just a whole lot of shadiness going on in the crypto world over the past few weeks. It's that time. I mean, you see it with the meme coins. You see it with, it's everywhere, man. It's that time when Bitcoin gets that cycle and everything's bullish again. You start to see this crap pop up, and it's a whole load of crap, man. I don't know what else to say, right? It's like, man, this meme coin world versus the actual, like, I feel like normal crypto world is just, it's craziness, especially with the administration, like, being so big in crypto and everybody can just make a meme coin now. It's wild. Shay, you got any more thoughts on that?
The bad agents are ruining a good thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep. Let's see what else we got. Economic data for today, NBA 30-year rate that's happening at 7 a.m. Eastern. That already went. Building permits, housing starts. That just came out at 8:30 Eastern. And then we have FOMC minutes later. I don't think we're going to see too much craziness from that. It's just meeting minutes, right? It's not the actual like FOMC rate decision. So you might see a little bit of volatility at 2 p.m. Eastern, but I wouldn't think it's too crazy, to be honest. But of course, market can do anything, so be ready. We get some pre-market earnings going on. Fiverr, Wix, Etsy, Solar Edge, Cinemark Holdings, ProPetro, and MFA Financial. After hours today, we got Carvana, Bosch Health, Vail, Innovative Industrial Properties, and Toast. And remember, you guys can listen to all those on the StockTwits platform, so take advantage of that. But any earnings that you're really taking a note of this week, Shy? I know it's bigger next week for everybody, but curious if you're taking any notes from these ones.
Yeah, so this morning I had one of my favorite stocks actually report, Global E, ticker GLBE. Really strong print, really weak guide. Tariffs related. So I think that's an interesting note. That's kind of following suit from big tech. Like a lot of the big tech weakness was, I think, FX headwinds, tariff talks, like etc. Like Global E felt the brunt of that. Regarding this afternoon, I mean, it's not listed on here, but Grab Holdings took over FinTwit this weekend.
Oh gosh.
So they're reporting after the bell. They're considered the Southeast Asia super app. So they ran up a bit past like week or two, and want to see if their results deliver or whatnot. Regardless, it's going to be top of a lot of people's attention. Carvana, like I'm shocked. I'm so shocked at the turnaround that I actually don't believe their numbers or their accounting processes because I was so adamant that this couldn't scale the way their
I was
business
so
economics
wrong about
scale.
Carvana. I was so wrong.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it just makes me feel like it doesn't pass the sniff test what they're doing underneath the hood. Toast, I mean, Shift 4 had really weak earnings yesterday, and I know Toast is a much more of a asset light POS than Shift 4, but like maybe there's weakness in that space. We'll see today. But yeah, I mean today is not much of a day. I'm also seeing Klaviyo, ticker KVYO, reporting after the bell. That's another CRM. Yeah, it's a very quiet day. It makes me think again. Not much will happen. I mean, tomorrow morning we have Alibaba. Tomorrow morning's busy for me. I have Unity and
Walmart,
Jumia.
yeah, Unity,
Yeah,
Baba.
so
There's plenty tomorrow morning,
mhm.
and then Rivian, Celsius after hours. So we'll keep an eye on those as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, next week is just going to be way more stacked. So at least for the S&P, right? For the general markets, you're going to see
Oh,
more of an effect on that. What's up?
I did want to bring up Celsius. Look out for Celsius today. They dropped a bomb yesterday,
What
and
was
it
that? Wait,
was they announced that they're going to report their earnings in 2 days yesterday. So they're going to report Thursday, and then they also announced that their management's going to present on Friday at this conference. They're going to announce something big. You don't just announce like, "Oh, we're going to report our earnings in 2 days." I really do believe it's Pepsi related, and I think it's something kind of a partnership or more equity stake into Celsius. Like I think there's gonna be something big, and that's like I think it's a much needed catalyst for the stock to like break this downtrend. And if there's any kind of hope, any hint of reacceleration on the top line, or shelving issues behind them, or Pepsi is just gonna help them out even more, and you're gonna see proof of that through equity, this will be a runner because Pepsi has a chokehold on Celsius all year on that shelving issue. Like they, I don't know if that was strategic on their end or they just were wanting to focus on their other Pepsi related products instead of just focusing on Celsius, which is again they only have a 9% equity stake in Celsius. Like if all their salesmen are pushing Celsius, and because that was the easy way for them to make their commission, and Pepsi saw that and were like, guys, like I know it's a low hanging fruit that you guys can hit your quota, but we have to reallocate our sources to our bigger products that we have actual. It's our products, not just something we have 9% equity in. Maybe those days are over, and if that's the case, nothing's being priced into Celsius stock for that. So like this could be a flyer. So watch out. I might be looking into some calls uh, today on this stock just as a leap because I did say fair value is $35 for the stock using a monster comp. It is. So uh I that's a 40% move from here. So I think this is an interesting play.
yeah, something to watch out for. It's already up 7% pre-market right now too. So interesting
See?
stuff. Let's
Yeah.
see what else we got. Intel, strong move, changes the narrative. This is getting some momentum, breaking those highs, getting a bit of a break of structure there, and that candle is closing strong. So based on the chart, I mean, I love the way this looks. You're getting out of that consolidation with some real momentum, breaking those highs. You know, any back tests of those previous resistance areas, I would look to hold and go higher from here. Obviously, you're sitting at $26, $27, so each dollar value is going to be, you know, a big psychological level of resistance. Um, but $30 is what I'd really be looking for the next upside target here. But yeah, this chart looks solid. Just want to stay above those highs, right? You don't want to peek your head over and then get right back under those highs. That wouldn't be good. I would want to see a retest and holding those highs as much as possible. So that's kind of my thoughts there. Um, you got any thoughts with Intel? I mean, I know they had the news, but
I
just like
wouldn't
the
hold
chart.
equity. I wouldn't
No.
hold equity. I honestly it made the move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't I would get out now. Like I think going up from 18 was it 19 to $27,
Hmm.
like it made a 35 to 40% move already. Like maybe it gets split up and gets an extra 10 to 15% juice from here. But I think the risk of it won't get split up and there might be an equity stake possibly, or if it fizzles out, it's going to return back towards the low 20s, and there's much greater risk than like going down 30% than making that extra 10 to 15. And because of that, the move has been made. Congratulations if you guys got into it in the low 20s, but I will kind of get out because this is purely on a buyout rumor or
Yeah.
split up rumor.
Yeah, a little bit sketchy there. A little bit sketchy. Let's see what other charts we got for the day. SMCI clears 200 day, so this has been holding pretty strong lately. I don't know how convinced I am of the rally, but I mean the chart is not lying. We're breaking those highs. Lots of momentum here, looking really good. So if this wants to go higher, I won't be surprised based on the chart, but I also just don't necessarily trust SMCI. I've traded it one time on shares. I held it for like about a year, and I've never touched it again, and I don't really plan to. The option contracts are really crazy on it, and just not a name I really like to trade much, but it's definitely been getting some momentum lately. I just think on the charts, some of the charts I'm looking at, I mean, we're peeking our head right into some big spots where they got to keep it going strong here, or else I don't know. I think we're getting this into some areas where it could be it. But Shy, what do you think about SMCI?
It's it's I want to say it's a shitco, but
I'm with you.
it's got no moats. it's got a place in the data center ecosystem, but it has no advantage compared to the HPEs, the Dells, even the Foxcons now are gaining space. Like they had a first mover advantage, but you saw their gross margins go from 17 to 18% for years to now 11, 12%. That's because they have to keep undercutting the pricing um, from their competitors, and it's coming at the expense of the margins. And it's purely a trade. Like that's all you're using as a trade, and those numbers that's called out, like that's me believing it's real. And we still don't even have an updated filing on their accounting issues. It's been 6 months, so I, PwC or whoever it was, like accounting firm, they do not drop clients. Like they are greedy as f on having as many clients as possible. Them dropping a client, there needs to be something structurally wrong. Like not just like, it's like a little heartburn. Like there's something borderline illegal for them to drop them, and we still don't even know what the visibility is in that. So I wouldn't even touch this with I just wouldn't even go close to the stock, and probably ever, because if they have no long-term moats and short-term is going through a trade on whatever repricing, like why bother at all? So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm with you. I made my money off SMCI. I'll never touch it again. I'm good. Staying far away. What else we got here? Let's see. Mags, big tech stall out. So this has been consolidating for a while here, just really going sideways. But this type of chart can be really boring. But I mean, look at the holdings, right? All big tech. Big tech has been boring for a little while lately. So something to keep a note of, but nothing breaking significant trends. Nothing really scary here, in my opinion. This actually looks really healthy. It's just a matter of, does it actually break to the upside, or do we get a break of structure to the downside and actually start maybe, flipping this trend a little bit? Maybe we go retest that previous all-time high where you have that red support zone drawn, which used to be resistance. Maybe we get a move down there and then we go higher. A lot of the time when I see these perfect flags like this, or like perfect consolidation, it's so clean. A lot of the time it's a little sketchy to me. It's like it's kind of too good to be true. It seems too easy that they would just break this out, and it doesn't mean it can't, right? But I would expect something like a little more like manipulation, right, to stop a ton of traders out to actually get an even bigger move, which would be, oh my God, let's break structure to the downside, but it's actually, a bit of a fake move out of this consolidation just to go higher. So I'd be looking for something like that here, especially with big tech. It's so heavily like affected by what Trump says, whether it's tariffs or whatever it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some crazy dip like that, and then next week you end up getting bought right back up into this range and going higher. So it's kind of my thoughts here on the big tech ETF. But any thoughts, Shy? I mean, obviously things are quiet this year. I know you're thinking that big tech's not really the spot to be, and this chart's kind of reflecting that perfectly. You know what I mean? Just going sideways, but not any aggressive selling, not any like fear that I'm seeing. So curious on your thoughts.
Yeah, it's gonna be range bound. Like I said, like big tech's not the place you want to be. I wasn't predicting it's gonna go down. I think it's gonna be dead money. I think it's gonna just range for honestly another 6 months probably. Like it's just not where you want to be, unless unless you're bearish on the market in general. And you just like want to be a little defensive, like sure, maybe just park your cash in there because it's just not going anywhere, and that's fine. I mean, look at that move that it had the past 2 or 3 years. If we're range bound this year and we consolidate, that makes me more bullish on the next leg of this bull market rally. So it's not the worst thing in the world, guys. But you're seeing like Microsoft. There's no way I'd be in it. Apple, just absolutely no way. Even Amazon, like. I'm not adding on Amazon's dip until it's $200. Even then, like I'm being slow about it because they're all compute constrained right now. They're spending more than the actual revenue reacceleration from those incremental expenses, and that's a bad combo. So it is what it is. But Nvidia could be the one that hits $200 though. Like Nvidia might be the one that just drives the indices with it because
Nvidia can drag everything up. I mean,
exactly. So.
We'll see. It's going to be
Yeah.
a big week next week. What else we got on the charts here? TLT. Ooh, the 20-year bond treasury. Yeah, this is This is looking interesting, kind of trying to break out of this consolidation to the downside here and go lower. I know Shy would like to see that, especially for the market. You want to see this continue to go lower, but interesting. I mean, had some resistance around that 89, coming right back in, but no real moves like that I'm seeing really made. No real decisions made yet. So I think bonds here quiet, not really too much happening, and we'll see. We'll see where they go. I don't think for me it's not very clear here at all in this area. But curious on your thoughts on the 20-year bond.
It's stubborn at 4.5. Like it's just
Yeah, it
hovering.
is.
It's not going above 4.6. It's not going below 4.5. Like it's just sitting parked there. So like I don't know. I'm still part of the camp where it needs to be closer to 4% than 5% for this market to actually have a real rally. And right now it's just everyone's on pause mode. It's interesting, like, and we're in a seasonal weak period, and we're kind of not seeing any kind of deterioration. So I guess being parked is a good thing because historically we've pulled back towards the second half of February and first half of March. Again, I don't use historical seasonality to dictate my behavior at all. I just use it to watch as a spectator, and being it's just a really interesting time. But we do need the 10-year yield to keep like continue going 4%. Like if the U.S. dollar remains strong, the boogeyman that we saw in Q1 last earnings cycle is going to continue next earnings cycle, and we're going to be parked again even more.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's see what else we got. I know this market's opening in 4 minutes, so get ready for that. This is the Japan's 10-year yield climb. This is crazy. The upside on that is ridiculous. Shy. What is it? Does this mean anything for you when you look at the Japan's 10-year yield climb?
Not at all.
I think it doesn't mean much for me, but I just think it's wild looking. That's crazy. So love to see that. But yeah, crazy look. Let's see what else we got. I know we're gonna get some tickers probably from the chat, so feel free to drop some if you guys are in the chat. We'll go over some tickers into the open here. But yeah, I mean, market's fairly quiet. We're right back into where we closed on NQ last night. I mean, just slightly under that. So not too much movement overnight. We did, get a little bit of a pop and then a drop and right back to where we started. So we'll see what happens there. Tesla been quiet. Coinbase been getting some downside from yesterday.
Jordan, you didn't talk about your favorite investment that's like moving a lot pre-market.
Which one's that?
Nikola.
Oh my god.
Nikola just filed Chapter 11. It's down 60% pre-market.
Oh
So
my gosh.
34 cents right now.
Yeah, it's my favorite ticker, by the way. If you didn't know, that's my absolute favorite ticker. 36 cents. That's just amazing. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Let's see. VIX is coming into that 16. Volatility is trying to pick it up again, but really I won't be concerned about volatility until we're getting more into that $17, $18 area. That's when I definitely start to size down on positions, especially with futures. So I'm just keeping that in mind going into the open, but don't have much that I'm looking at. Tesla's kind of been quiet. We got some upside past 2 days, and then yesterday was just like really quiet and sideways. So I'm watching closely. I'm getting close to having a setup, but I don't have all the points confluence I need yet. So I've been a little bit of, I've been like anticipating a little bit, but I'm trying to hold off and let the move kind of come to me. So I'm keeping eyes on Tesla for upside. We have held that 326.50 after taking those lows. And things are looking pretty decent from there. But again, I just don't have all the confirmation I need quite yet, because if I am getting long, I'm not targeting, a previous day high. Like if I'm getting long anywhere in this area on Tesla, my target is going to be 440 and all-time highs. Like I'm not sitting here targeting a previous day high or a small resistance zone, right? I'm targeting massive areas. So I'm definitely trying to be patient and really wait for that confirmation. So I'm keeping an eye on that. WRD, I don't know anything about it other than Nvidia has some shares, ticker WRD. I'll take a look. I've never heard of this ticker. It's it gapped up recently pretty big. Past 2 days have been pretty volatile after those gap ups.
Oh, it's because Nvidia invested them.
Yeah, that's what he was saying, yeah. you know, obviously Nvidia investing in anybody is kind of a big deal, but I wouldn't go making decisions just solely based off of that. There's that bell. Good moaning. That market is open, so we're keeping our eyes on that. But yeah, WRD, I mean, obviously, again, Nvidia investing is massive, but that wouldn't be a big deciding factor alone for me, right? You got to have other points of confluence and other pieces that kind of give you clarity. And obviously, it's great. That's a big positive. But definitely would want to see more based on the chart. I mean, you're just seeing volatility, right, from Nvidia coming in. So I would let that cool down a little bit, especially this ticker just got released October 25th. So, you know, this is a brand new ticker. I would kick back, let this kind of volatility die down. If it even has option contracts, I'm sure the IV right now is just ridiculous. So I would kind of stay away, let things calm down here and get like some real clarity before I make any decisions personally. You got any thoughts on that, Shay?
No, but Celsius. I mean, we ride. I mean, I'm looking at their fundamentals. Like, it's growing a ton, but it's losing even more money.
Yeah,
And
Celsius is ripping though. Fuck.
yeah, it's got low margins. It's losing money. It's worth. That can't be. Oh, it's in Canadian dollars. Wait, what? No. Oh, it's worth $11 million. This company, I know it's tiny. That can't be right. Let me see the market cap. We read. I mean, regardless, it's too spec. But Celsius, like, look at that candle.
I know.
Damn it, dude. I fucking should have added again. I was like, I saw the news yesterday.
The
and
life
I was
of a
like,
trader.
yeah, I know there's something happening.
Oh my gosh.
Because again, I've been on this side of the conversation. Like when management, it's not a bull rush, but like they throw a bunch of things that are major catalysts, like ASAP. That's going to happen next like same week, and they don't give us a warning. Like, usually, it's a 2 or 3 week heads up on earnings, final earnings dates. They gave 2 days. They are excited to announce something. They're excited,
And
and not just
investors
that.
know that. Look at you. You're like cuz what do you see when you see a company put off earnings, right? That's negative. That's obviously like, okay, you don't want to show me something. You're scared
Or
to show me something.
put
So,
off an accounting error like
exactly.
SMCI.
Yeah.
So like, but also like if they double down, like they're also announced they're presenting the next day at a major conference. There's something going to be had. Like I really think it's more of an international expansion story, and I think this is the dream scenario, guys. Pepsi bought more of an equity stake, probably owning like 15 to 20% total, and they're going to use those funds to expand globally, internationally, and also indicate that the domestic issue that they had past years behind them. That's a dream scenario, and the stock's going to get re-rated because let me see what their guide is for this upcoming year.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be growing 15% this upcoming year, which is still respectable, but it's because this year was a dead year. It grew 3%. But
Mhm.
they have 21% EBITDA margins. Like that's respectable. So top line 15%, 21% EBITDA margin, and they're trading at 18 times EBITDA. That's cheap, and that's why I'm referencing. Like it's deserved to be trading at 30 times EBITDA with those fundamental profile. If that's the case, $35 stock. So I am watching for any pullback on this. If you look on their weekly charts for Celsius, I am seeing the 9 week EMA is at $25 essentially. So like they're sitting right at that level right now. I want to see if it rejects because every time we've hit that point since June of 2024, every single time it's rejected. So if we close higher today, this tells me it's a new characteristic in the stock. And if that's the case, I think that we retest $29 really quick. I mean, $32 really quickly, which has been a huge volume shelf. That's the next resistance level. And then from there, it's an earnings story. We'll see what happens in the earnings. But it's an interesting trade. I think the long-term thesis is broken this trade a name because it's never going to be a hyper grower anymore. But very interesting trade.
Yeah, we'll keep eyes on it. We got some tickers from the chat. BBAI, Big Bear AI. I'm just taking a look myself on my
Just
chart.
buy
But
Palantir. It's riding the coattails of Palantir. It's the same. They're trying to do the same stuff, and
is that the
it's
case?
it's not like they're right.
Except they're
They
$8.
I mean, they 8x'd. They went from $1 to $8, but like
Yeah.
purely riding the coattails, and I don't know if there's enough room for them.
If
Like they have
that's
a,
the case, I'm with you then. Because I mean I know nothing about the company, but if that's the case, then they're kind of just riding Palantir's coattails. I'm with you. I don't see the point, but especially even as a trading vehicle, I wouldn't see the opportunity here just being as cheap as it is. Palantir would definitely be a better trading asset, I think, whether it's long term or short term. But I mean, this name's been getting a bunch of momentum with Palantir, so it's definitely been looking good. It doesn't show me any real fear quite yet, but yeah, I'm with you. I would go with Palantir as well. Let's see what else we got. MU. I haven't looked at MU in a while, to be honest. It's been probably over a year since I've traded it. Let's see. MU is actually ripping from yesterday. Oh my gosh, ripping since what is this, Wednesday of last week? Yeah, this has been doing really good. Not even on an earnings catalyst or anything. Shy, do you recall what catalyst that was for MU or anything?
there's an Nvidia announcement, I think,
Is that okay?
of a partnership.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, it filled that gap we had on the daily from, about that 103 area to, I don't know, $96. Filled that gap all the way to the upside. We're in another small gap that we filled at the top here. I mean, it's got momentum. It's looking great, but we've also seen momentum right up into these highs, of $108, $110 over and over and over. If you look at this chart, I mean, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our 7th time coming into this area. I mean, I need to see some real aggression over these highs to really care about going any higher, right? I think the move from the lows has been great, and if you've capitalized on that, solid. But I think you're coming into target here, and you don't have much reason for this to go higher unless it's finally time to break out of these highs, which to me, it doesn't really look like it's time. This just looks really quiet, but I could be wrong, right? We'll see. It's just a matter of I don't think anybody should be super directionally biased based on where this is at right now, given that there's really no clarity for any direction here. So unless, of course, you're just a long-term investor and you're holding and you believe in the company, that's a different side of things. But as of now, I don't see much opportunity here, just sideways. And, if you caught the long, great, you're coming into target, and I would be careful in this resistance area. But you got any thoughts on MU, Shy?
It's dirt cheap. I think it's 12 times earnings, but that's not the issue. Is like I really do think memory is a commodity. At the end of the day, it just is, and they're being priced accordingly. But if that's not the case, and it's not a commodity, and Micron deserves some kind of premium compared to the other memory chip providers, like this could be a major runner. I own it in my Blossom trading portfolio. Like I'm pricing in, like if that is the case, this will be a major runner. But as of right now, like it's just looking like it's a commodity, unfortunately.
Yeah. Ooh, Coinbase taking a hit this morning. Tesla getting a nice little rip, but it's just in this giant. What is this? Basically, from 360 to 349 is just this area where we could go sideways and chop. So, I'm not really expecting much here. If this wants to get going, get over that 360, I would love to see that. I anticipate Tesla goes and tests that 370 area, and I expect rejection there. That would be kind of the area I'm looking at for a change in structure on the daily chart. So if we could see something like that, I'd really be getting interested in Tesla. Now, any positions I'm looking at, I'm taking some longer dated contracts. But swings have been tough in this type of environment lately. So that's where I'm like, I want to buy more time. Don't want to get too caught in chop. And that's why I'm being really patient and waiting for timing on this type of trade. Just trying to be super patient and wait for the confirmation, But things are looking great. We're starting to see everything I want on Tesla. So I'm happy with that. VIX is staying under that 16. So that looks like I'm going to have some normal size positions today. That's nice. Anything standing out to you from the market open, Shy?
Yeah, I'm looking at. pissed at Celsius. I'm watching for a pullback. It's not happening. Software is pulling back. I will say that. Oh my God, yeah, Celsius is just up 12% now.
Dude, that's what it does. It'll be getting absolutely killed, just wrecked,
No,
and we wake up one morning and it's like, hello, we got some news, and look at us now.
I'm not exaggerating though. Like we've been waiting for like a year, I think, for like a catalyst for Celsius. Like
Dude,
there
it's been
has
a
not
while.
been any. This could actually be it. Like, it really could be it.
I
So
fumbled
it's like,
such a fat bag on Celsius.
I mean, dude, like I bought 200 shares in the mid-teens years ago. I sold half of it at 60 or $70. Again, savvy trader, you guys can all see there's proof of it. But I kept the last 100 shares as maybe part nostalgic because like it was like my first major multi-bagger from years ago and I enjoy the product so much. But damn, when I saw those signs of like margin deteriorating, revenue decelerating, like I should just cut bait completely. But
I didn't
I
sell a
held.
single share.
Yeah, I mean, I held from like 80, but
Well, I
I think
did now, but like at the time, like I didn't take any of that profit, which we live and we learn. And luckily, we've had other investments that have clearly made up for that, and it's not a worry. But oh, fumbled the bag on Celsius, man. Gosh, could
I
have
mean, yeah,
secured some money and just didn't, and watched it go right down the drain. Bye bye. It was not
yeah.
fun.
I mean, I don't think it ever hit. Not, I wouldn't say ever, but like it's
It
not
didn't
gonna
even
hit
hit
100.
100.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? It went like 2 cents. I remember the day. I was waiting for it. The day. We were like 2 cents from $100, and I was pissed. And it was straight down from there. We never saw the light of day again.
Oh, Arista Network. Let's see what they. I know they reported earnings yesterday. What's happening with them today?
Nets. Let's take a look. Um, well, getting down in these daily lows. We're down at like
Mm.
towards the bottom of this range. So more towards the discount here. $100 is a big psychological level. I know everybody and their mother watches $100. So, and where are they going to put their stops? Probably right where it bounced into $97, $98. So, if I'm looking to buy anywhere out of this area, I would look more just under that $100, to be honest. Personally, you got any thoughts, Chad?
Um, I think they got affected by that DeepSeek playbook reveal because obviously low cost AI training models might compress the infrastructure demand, and that's essentially what Arista does. I'm trying to do it in a way where it's like their networking fabric is what orchestrates the interplay between the GPU, storage, the front end applications. Like essentially, they are the very sticky component of everything in the invisible web of the digital economy. But it might be one of those things where as businesses build their own AI capabilities, which is again what's going to happen on a post DeepSeek world because AI tools will become cheaper. The demand for like these software defined networking solutions, that which is essentially what Arista does, might be somewhat disruptive on their growth. And if that's the case, valuation is expensive already because they have that premium associated with them right now. And if that demand for the infra demand goes lower, valuation compression. So that's why I'm like, I don't know how it's going to play out, but either way, I mean, semis aren't doing great today. And one thing I also do want to monitor, like Nvidia had a pretty big sell-off yesterday. I forgot how much they were up. I think 3 or 4%. They finished red, and again, their earnings are in a week. I do think this upcoming earnings is one of those most noisy expectation ones in quite some time. Like I want to say even years, where we have DeepSeek. What's the disruption going to be? We have the hyperscalers creating their own custom silicon chips. We have Blackwell ramp up concerns. Like there's just so much like uncertainty into an Nvidia print where previously like, everyone was confident like they're going to dominate and guide up. Party will continue. I still think that might be the case, but uh, I don't like yesterday's price action. I will say that, and it's red today as well. And maybe it's a good thing ahead of their earnings next week, but Intel is also down 7%. That's profit taking from buyout. It's purely profit taking. I think this is part of the course. I
Yeah.
think.
Gotta go through it. I've been dealing with it on Tessie. But look at her now. Oh, hello. Look at you. Busting our head over that that 3 sexy. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. 360? No, 3 sexy. I like that better actually. It's way better. She is looking sexy. I want to see that 370. I would expect rejection at that 370 though today if we do get there initially. That's gonna be a big spot on the daily where, the market is really deciding on whether it wants to really be going up and change a bit of a trend here or not. So that's why that's a big area for me. The specific level is 370.19. It's the open of that Friday, February 7th daily candle. So we're watching that. I would like to see strong close over that if we can, but initially, again, expecting rejection. And then over, the next week, I would love to see some retest, kind of consolidation back, to that 370, even back into the range where we're trading right now. And that can be some beautiful entries for long. So that's on the higher time frame, though. Obviously, you can play shorter time frame and be catching longs intraday. Absolutely. I'm just talking a little bit more on a higher time frame for swing trades, but yeah, looking really strong there. Love to see it. Should see that 370. I'm expecting that for sure today. Whether or not we close over it with strength or reject hard, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but we'll wait and see. We'll find out. How's Uber? Because Uber has been doing well lately. And oh boy. Coming in a bit today, but just really an inside day of yesterday's range. Not much happening. Every day where you're getting any selling on Uber has been super light, not aggressive at all. So if you're still long Uber, I wouldn't really be worrying here. You definitely could get a decent pullback, but I would really study that pullback, study the price action within it. If you're not seeing real fear, real aggression to the downside, I would expect more legs higher on Uber. Nvidia's drilling a little bit to start the morning. We have those lows from Tuesday, yesterday. I would expect those to come into play. We also have basically those lows on ES. We actually have equal lows on ES, which gives me reason for the market to go lower as well. The market does not like equal highs or equal lows. It will take those out at some point. So watch for ES to break below that 61.1825. That will eventually be happening. Market hates those equal lows, man. Just doesn't like them. That's pretty much it for me, though. Kind of accumulating this morning to start the open on NQ for me, so I haven't done anything quite yet. But Shay, you got any other thoughts? Or we got another ticker, SMR, real quick. SMR. New Scale Power Corporation. I don't know this company.
Oh, it's a nuclear play.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah.
Small, yeah. The small modular reactors, it's like an Oklo type of thing.
It's kind of a quiet ticker. It's been doing all right, but kind of just quiet, I would say. Very back and forth. But I think you're coming into these lows in the range, and it's off of a bullish trend. So, if you want to hold these lows into $17, I don't think that's a horrible purchase, but obviously you got to know what you're purchasing here, right? So just know what you're purchasing, but in terms of the chart and the prices, don't hate it there. Not something I trade though. This thing just looks very, very slow grinding price action is what it looks like. You definitely have some big momentum days, but for the most part, it's like this. It's this slow grind up. You know what I mean? So I'd be careful with that. Shay, you got any other things you want to cover before we wrap it up? Because I'm pretty much good. But if you have any other things for the audience, feel free.
Tesla's really interesting. The way it's up 3% now, so they're catching a bid.
Oh my gosh!
So that is nice to see because, damn, they're almost at my point that I wanted it at. The 9-month EMA. I know, guys. I'm using a monthly chart, but I'm a long-term investor in Tesla, so I like to use on my long-term high conviction names. I use the monthly chart on buying points because I'm gonna own this probably for years and years and years. It has been hovering that ever since we rallied last summer. It's been right above that every single time we had a dip. It's bounced off that level. That level was at 317. So I was like, we were at what 330 before. I was like, ooh, maybe I'll add at that level. We didn't get there. We're up 3%. Big tech showing weakness today. Amazon has been showing like it's a slow grind down. I want more blood though. Um, and other than that, I mean, it's just have. I think you guys need a cash position. Like I maybe might start tinkering a bit, but we still need way more blood in the water for me to even get a little more excited. This is just it's just weird because like I'm losing money today. I'm I think I lost money like past 2 or 3 days. I'm okay with that because I have a 12% cash position. I put 2% cash every single month in my account. So like even if I don't add anything and I let my portfolio run and I don't feel comfortable like adding more cash into the market, my positions, I'll build an incremental 2% cash position. And if it keeps doing this for another 4 or 6 months, I'm gonna have a 20% cash position. That's a dream scenario if we have a market pullback, a significant one. That's like the dream scenario. Like imagine if you had a 20% cash position during the 2021 bubble bursting and you waited for that to play out. That's kind of what I'm not hoping for, but like I'm just being very cautious because valuation is extended, guys. It just is. Nobody's really caring much about it right now. It's more about thematic modes, which I love to see, but I just don't like after big tech's earnings cycle and everything that's happening geopolitically in the high stakes poker game, like I just don't see a catalyst right now for the market. Like I just don't. It's just stuck in mud. I think software is where you want to be clearly, but even then, we got weak AI workloads from the cloud service providers. Like they were weak, and we had the first consumption model. Really, like Confluent, sure, is a consumption model, but like it's very niche in streaming data. Datadog was the consumption model for observability. That was a weak guide. It was. So that combined with weak AI workloads from the cloud service providers, it makes me think that some software names will catch a bid on good reports. I think Snowflake is going to beat and guide up. Nobody really knows about MongoDB. Their transactional component of their database is so unpredictable that when things are great, it flies. But when things are like obviously a little optimized, they don't do well, and that's what we saw in the past 2 years. So, like that's the biggest wild card, dark horse. But I still think like I'm not adding to my software names because I'm seeing signs this earnings cycle of like maybe the party isn't going to be as explosive as I thought right away. I still believe it's going to happen next 3 to 6 months. We're going to see that massive Gen AI reacceleration hitting these software names consumption models. So I do think I'm just being patient. I'm up 22% this year already. This is after being up to 220% past 2 years. Like I am being very defensive right now. And my whole goal has always been 15% a year. So I just told you my numbers like past 3 years. I'm way ahead of that. So because of that, I'm willing to just like be a turtle, not be as aggressive and have that cash position because I essentially hit my quota already and it's 6 weeks in. So that's just my style of investing right now. And that's probably why I'm being a little not as participative as I usually am with like moves in the market. It's just I just don't see anything.
It's okay. Everybody thinks, oh, you're a trader. You have to be constantly participating. It's like actually, some of the best traders I know trade very little. Like even more day trader style people, like even them, they'll take very little trades. That's why I take very little trades, right? And it's just like, especially in this time after this last year we've had, especially being a long-term investor, it's okay to sit on the sidelines a bit and be like, hey, I'm waiting for what I really want to see. And if I don't get it, I'm going to sit back on my cash and not worry about it. So I don't think it's a bad way to go right now. But for the audience, I hope you guys enjoy the day and trade safe. We're going to wrap it up for the morning. But as always, appreciate you guys tuning in and make sure you are liking and subscribing on the Stock Twits channel. And we'll see you guys bright and early in the morning. Enjoy the day.